Good morning, motorcycle people. This is Tony back with another Avoid Highways video, and today we're going to do my first impressions of my 2024 CSC San Gabriel 250. Just had it in for a few weeks now. Had to sort out some fueling issues, which I will talk about in a minute. But in the meantime, let's go for a ride. The eagle-eyed among you may notice that I have changed out the mirrors. I found the stock mirrors to be, well, not to put too fine a point on it, but useless. They showed me a fantastic view of my own ribs and elbows and not much else. And they were also insanely buzzy at speed, so those went bye-bye. I have replaced them with a set of round mirrors from CSC. I think they were something like 13-14 bucks a piece, and you know, I'm still getting them adjusted and everything, but they will at least show me something other than me, which is a big upgrade. I also like the round look. I think they're I don't know, they just look more correct on the bike to me. But yeah, to sum up my first impressions, this is a super fun little bike to ride, and that is exactly what I was looking for. I'm coming to the San Gabriel 250 from a Tiger 900 from Triumph, which is, I have to say, an amazing bike. It sort of does everything well. And what brought me to the CSC is that the Tiger kind of does everything a little too well. It's almost too good, which makes it kind of sedate and just a touch boring. So I wanted something a little well, smaller and easier to move around my garage. First of all, the San Gabriel, the SG250, is 273 pounds, which feels like nothing when you're moving it around. The Tiger is, you know, north of 450, so the difference there is huge. And a big part of what I wanted was something small, something easy, something I was more comfortable working on myself. And voila, it's the SG250. Like I said, it's a ton of fun to ride. You can just toss it around. You know, is it a sport bike? No. Is it a high performance bike? No. But that's not what it's about. It's about a small package, a lot of fun, and $2,000. All right, $2,000 for a real honest-to-goodness motorcycle. I think fully into my door, including dealer prep and shipping literally to my garage door, I think I was in for about $2,800. I got the upgraded diamond pattern seat, which pushed it just over $3,000. I defy you to find a better deal. Now, if you were listening carefully, you may have heard a couple of times that the bike is dying on me when I stop. That has thus far been my major frustration with the bike, is some fueling issues. When I first got it, I could not get it to idle with the choke off. Idle just fine, choke open, get it all warmed up to temperature, try to take the choke off, still no dice. So I called up CSC, and that is just a quick aside. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, Chinese motorcycles, like, you know, I'm gonna get whatever I get and then I'm on my own. And that is the difference with CSC. There is an honest-to-goodness dealership in California with actual people. They import the bikes, they check them out, and they ship them out to you. And then when you have an issue, like I did, they'll talk to you. And they're more than happy to. I talked to Matt Carroll, their service manager. If you watch any of the CSC Garage videos, he's the guy who does those. And, you know, Matt got on the phone with me and gave me like 4 or 5 different, you know, possible solutions to my fueling issue. I ran through those in sequence, and eventually what helped, although I can't say that it has completely worked, but what helped was lowering the needle clip in the carburetor 1 notch so that I raised my needle and increased my fuel flow. Now, that shouldn't really have a huge effect at idle. It has helped enough, but I still, you know, have the problem with the bike dying on me, so we're not there yet. But I'm no stranger to carburetors. In fact, no stranger to CSC. This is my second CSC motorcycle. I have a TT250 Enduro that I've had since 2021 and have had a lot of fun with and have beat the crap out of, and continues to just be a great motorcycle for me. So, you know, little carburetor issues aside, I'm having a blast with this bike. The seating position is a little bit forward. It is styled in the Cafe Racer style. So if that is an issue for you, as far as not liking the comfort of that position, I would recommend you look at the Scrambler handlebar kit that CSC offers. It comes with a higher scrambler bar, they call it scrambler bar, and longer throttle, longer clutch, longer brake line. That will sit you more upright if that is your preference. I usually like to be a lot more upright, but I am not having a problem with the slight forward lean on this. It's kind of adding to the fun factor for me a little bit. And we died. Come on, little buddy. Come on, little buddy. So the CSC run-in procedure says 5,000 RPM to keep it under for the first 5,000 miles, or sorry, 500 miles. Oof, 5,000, that'd be a long run-in. And in 5th gear at 5,000 RPM, I get an indicated 40 to 42 depending on, you know, what kind of terrain I'm on. I don't really trust the speedometer. I've got a GPS Speedo app on my phone. I want to compare because these are known to be off somewhat. So I want to do that comparison here very soon. But, you know, if you go into it thinking about what you're buying for $2,000, like I said, it's a full-fledged motorcycle. This isn't, you know, this isn't a pit bike. This isn't a, you know, a scooter under a different name. This is a motorcycle. It's a real legit motorcycle. You got 229 cc's, single cylinder. And yeah, is it a lot of power? No. Is it gonna knock your socks off? No. But you're gonna ride the crap out of it and you're gonna have a blast. If you really, you know, what I was looking for and what I think this delivers so well is that more visceral feeling. If my Triumph Tiger is, you know, this like refined workhorse, it's like that horse on, you know, the trail ride you took on vacation and knows exactly where to go and you don't really have to do anything. It's just going to take you there, and you're going to get there and it'll be pretty comfortable. You don't have to worry about anything. That's all well and good. That's got its purposes. But the SG250s, now this is a horse that just, you know, just got broken, just got saddled up. You're going to do a little work on it. You're going to ride it. Now that to me is a lot of fun. Not to make it sound like an overly amount of work. I mean, it's a good motorcycle. It runs, it rides just great. But you feel more involved. I think that's the word. You know, I am more involved in my motorcycle experience riding this. And that's what I wanted. So just to go back to the comfort point, you know, I did get the upgraded seat. The upgraded seat is fine. I think I'm going to do some seat modifications, maybe add a little more padding, maybe flatten it out a little bit. The seating, you know, position is fine. I'm about just shy of 5'10". We got a little, you know, my feet are tucked slightly behind my knees, but just slightly. So for me, it's really comfortable. I got about a 30.5 inseam. No problem with this seating position. But yeah, other than the fueling issue that I had, I have no problems. You know, check your tire pressure if you get one. Make sure your tires are fully where they need to be. And we died. As funny as it sounds to say on a $2,000 motorcycle, I really like the gearbox on the CSCs. I've had no issues with like false neutrals or having difficulty finding neutral. It's not it's not the biggest clunk. You don't get the biggest like notchy feel when you switch gears, but it's smooth. It just shifts up and down with no drama, which I love. had the exact same experience with my TT250. It's shifting. If you're gonna worry about something, don't worry about shifting. That ain't it. Nice gearbox on these. Yeah, boy. Uh-oh, I'm running out of curvies. Getting into the civilized areas now. That's no good. So, you know, one of the obvious questions is, you know, what's the power like? And the answer is, the power is not much. I want to say they listed it 16 miles, or 16 horsepower. And here's the thing. 16 horsepower is not much. There's no question. However, neither is 273 pounds. That is not much. So those 16 horses are doing a lot less work than, say, the 20 horses on a Royal Enfield Hunter 350, which is another bike that I cross-shopped, that are hauling around a nearly 400-pound motorcycle. So the power to weight ratio on this bad boy is really nice. And I think, you know, there's the other X factor here, and something I'm going to be doing is I have the Moto Cult Stage 4 Performance Kit, which they claim brings you up into the mid-20s on horsepower. That's going to be a total game changer. That's going to put this, performance-wise, way ahead of that Enfield Hunter 350. So I can't wait to show you guys later the install on that, and what it feels like to ride with that, because I think it's going to be an absolute hoot. And I have some history on that, because I, for my TT250, bought the Moto Cult, and they call it the True 250 cylinder and piston, which takes the 229 cc's and boosts it up to an actual 250. And you notice it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's about a 10%, you know, increase in displacement, and it just gives you more through the whole rev range. I've been really happy with it. Also installed Moto Cult's power cam with that, and yeah, it was a nice upgrade to the TT250, so I'm super excited to just go with the whole kit and caboodle on this one and see what I get. Guess the guy behind me wanted me to go when there was a truck coming, but just have to wait. Sorry, my friend. The brakes on this bike, I mean, you know, they're nothing to write home about, but it's 273 pounds. Most of the time, I'm doing at least 60% of my stopping with just engine braking. It really, really doesn't take much to stop, so unless you are a total brake snob, which I am not, you're not gonna notice the brakes on this. because you'll already be mostly stopped. Alright, so here we go. I'm at roughly 5,000 RPM in 5th gear, running an indicated 45. Are you going to take this on the highway? Oh, hell no. That would be a terrible idea. Are you going to get around the suburban areas like where I live with no issues whatsoever? Yep. And you're going to have fun doing it. Alright guys, I think that is going to be it for me on this is a first impressions ride, so I don't want to drone on too terribly long. Like I said, bottom line, first impression is whee! I am having fun with this bike. If you have any specific questions, leave them down in the comments. Please do like, and if you enjoy this content and want to see more about CSC motorcycles and motocult components, why don't you hit that subscribe button? I have a fair number of ideas that I'm prepared to do on videos. We're going to do not a step-by-step install on the motocult kit, because I'm no expert and nobody needs to see me fumble around for a few hours, but you know, we'll do some discussion of the install of the motocult kit. We'll talk about how it rides. I have some other bits and baubles that I'm going to put on the bike. I'm going to change the front sprocket and chain, which will give it a higher top speed. So yeah, lots of fun things to talk about still with this bike. Thanks for taking the ride with me this morning. Again, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay safe, everybody, and avoid those highways. Talk to you later.